Well, if the bikes are close and the cars are closer, the same could not be said for the trucks. It really is starting to look like a one-truck race at the moment. As Vladimir Chigini is way out in front. I beg your pardon. He's trailing Carol Lepre. What an error. My apologies to them. 3 hours and 20 minutes between those. But really, it was a battle only between those two once again today. 7 minutes and 9 seconds separating the two main contenders. But Lepre it is that's still at the head overall by those 3 hours and 20 minutes. They were slow to come in today, as you'd expect on such a long stage. But the Hinos were there in contention, as they have been throughout. Vezino and Sugawara, third and fourth today. But it really is a battle for pride. And what better place to spend a day in the Dakar than in a rather bumpy but pleasantly air-conditioned cab. Well, there has been a lot of criticism over the years, particularly in France, that the Dakar Rally is a rich man's race in very poor countries indeed. Well, they do a lot of good work that is away from the cameras most of the time, and this is an example of that. The Rose de Sable are a charitable organisation that take clothing and medicines to some of the outlying villages that are passed along the way, and boy, are they glad to get it. Well, this member of the medical crew says we're here to give some equipment. It's very different, she says. We're focusing on small communities. We bypass the big towns. He says these areas often get missed out, and we're here to see that they get their fair share. And working immediately on those with cuts and bruises and more serious ailments. And this gentleman saying we're not a known operation. We just take things very quietly indeed, operating to the side of the Dakar. He says it's better than just throwing t-shirts at people. Here we make a real difference, he says. Well, medicines and clothing. And yes, you can see, they're very, very well sought after. Well, he says so we don't want to give out too much here because we have to keep our supplies going all the way through the Dakar. People really need things, he said, and they're extremely grateful to get whatever they can. And as you can see, the local school teacher and school turning out to welcome the Rose de Sable along the way. All dressed in some new finery and some old. And the trucks rolling on again. Not part of the race, but part of the Dakar for sure. Well, majestic scenery that we're not about to leave behind. Tomorrow, of course, will be a loop, Tajika to Tajika. Wonderful countryside, Mauritania. And the people have been more than welcoming throughout the Dakar. A more dramatic backdrop you're unlikely to see. Some of the best pictures from the Dakar every year coming from this country. It really is a beautiful place. And so to tomorrow. Well, just one highlight for you there, Tajika, but I can tell you they're hardly staying put. Yes, it's a short early liaison of just 3 kilometers to the starting point, and then a special loop of 513 kilometers. There'll be checkpoints along the way, and woe betide anyone who strays off the route, as we saw in the last loop special. We'll be there, and we hope you can join us. More drama, both on the track and from the air, as far as the scenery is concerned. So I hope you can join us then. Me, Carlton, Kirby and the rest of the crew. It's bye for today. And just before we go, just time to remind you that you can keep in touch with the live action, the stand welcome line for the competitors, as we've already heard, and the bikers more appreciative than most. It's Kindergarten, the KTM team chief, there to see his team off, and once again team orders: take it easy boys, carry the bikes home if you possibly can. Oman man not listening, Kari Tiernan, yesterday got his first stage win in 5 Dakars today. Got himself another. Perfect rhythm, picking his way through the lumps and bumps. When camel grass grows, it forms a little ball of sand around it, and you have to ride it a bit like a motocrosser. Well, he had 6 or 7 beers last night by his own admission. Said he was a little thirsty, didn't seem to do him any harm whatsoever. John Deacon, well, he thought he'd won the day when he caught a leading group of KTM riders, then did a head count and realised too late that one man was missing. Tiernan was out there, Deacon was on his tail, but it was too late. Deacon taking a few spills today, as you can see in the camel grass, and perhaps that was the difference between them. Deacon finishing 14 minutes and 32 seconds behind Tiernan's winning time. Good old John, loves his PM, and it served him well. Heavy crash yesterday when the bike actually landed on top of him. He shook that off and indeed was going for the win today. He really wants a stage win if possible. Deacon 3 hours 38 minutes down overall. As for the other KTM riders, all together. Fabrizio Mioni, number 3, being shadowed of course by Jordi Alcarons. Those two topping the standings, just 20 minutes apart, and they need to get these bikes home. Last year, of course, the KTMs were so fragile they all fell to bits before the end of the Dakar, and it's Kindergarten and the rest of the KTM team just want them to get home in one piece to prove just how reliable they have become. Gianni Sala sharing a quick joke, and as you can see, the humour light on the day, as we've said. As well it might be. The tracks were clear, everyone was hoping for no sandstorm, none came, and the likes of Jean Brucy were able to pick a clean course through. A pleasant day on the bikes, if ever there was one. Let's go on board with Johnny Campbell on the Honda from the United States.
One of those things where you just have to really come and experience it, almost like any desert race. It's an enthusiast sport. You want to experience it yourself. It is just so vast, you know, it makes anything I do back home like a go-kart race or something. This is quite incredible, just how large this continent is with just absolutely nothing. You know, no convenience stores, barely a gas station with a barrel of fuel every once in a while, and that's about it. These people live pretty remote compared to even Baja. So I'm thoroughly amazed by the vastness of this all. Oh, there goes PG. PG's been on a mission all week. He's been having a few troubles. I just got to let him go because he rides really fast.
Peggy Lundmark screaming past Campbell. Digavado had to take it easy today, he said, and you must when it's like this. Esteve Puyol, also up there, 9th on the stage, 4th overall behind Digavado. Jimmy Lewis on the BM, wrist still hurting, he said, and not looking forward to the long stage tomorrow. Patrick Siriol, 10th overall on the Honda. But the man they all had to look up to was this man. Not broken down, just waiting for everyone to come in. Tiernan, full race pace today, and time to kill at the end. What a pleasant day for him. And so let's catch up formally with those results. Tiernan's time 2 hours 53.07, 14 minutes and 32 seconds ahead of John Deacon on the BM, and then a whole host of KTMs as you'd expect. Sala, Acarons, Brucey, followed by Mioni and Digabado. Mioni still leading overall by 20 minutes, 29 seconds from Arcarons. KTM's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Well, Tina has just joined an exclusive club of riders who lead from the off and win a stage. He said, I'm nearly 15 minutes ahead of the others, so I don't know why, he said, but today was another good day for me. I like this sort of place. In the camel grass, it's like you're on a boat. You just have to ride the waves. You have to catch a good rhythm. That's exactly what I've done. If you get it, then you can fly, and you don't feel the bumps on the road at all. I've really enjoyed myself, he says. Superb stuff from TNN. Deacon, nearest man to him.
It's quite short, and I didn't think it would really suit me because it's tight and twisty, suit me or the bike, but you know, I don't always read the rule book, so it was very nice. I caught the other group and then realised Carrie was long ahead, so I pushed on past them, but it's difficult in the camel grass, and I hope I don't ever see any more camel grass because I just hate it. But yeah, it's okay. My best results so far, and there's still quite a long way to go to Dakar. So fingers crossed, anything can happen.
Fingers crossed indeed that he doesn't take too many more tumbles. Let's speak to Mioni. And the leader in the bike said it was a day without any problems. It was the kind of stage that I like a great deal, and I would have liked to have taken it flat out, but this year it's different. We have a target, and that's to get all our bikes to Dakar together, and then we have to manage the bikes and our own physical capabilities. Well, KTM, of course, remember the sweep of the podium by BMW last year. They don't want to see that again this time around, and they just want those bikes filling those top 3 podium positions, and of course Mioni is their glorious leader. Looking forward to that finish in Dakar as we are 2 wheels. Let's take a few moments to speak about Mr. Alain Duclos. He was born in this area, and he was meeting his mum later on in the day, so he had to take a shave, and he forgot to attach his road scroll. So the omen's not good, but guess what? He finished this day in 4th place. He said he really wanted to do well in front of his former village friends, and that's exactly what he did. No road book to look at, the road scroll unattached in his rucksack. He just followed the leaders, and it paid him very well indeed. It's all waiting to cheer him on, and that's exactly what they did. You'll be glad to know that he did arrive clean-shaven to meet his mum, and she was rightly impressed by the day's performance of her son. Well, the less charitable may say that Alain Duclos took advantage of team orders that has muted, let's say, the challenge of KTM. Well, today, Alfie Cox was allowed free rein. He'd been nursing Mioni for a few days, watched Tianen win 3 in a row, and thought, to hell with it, I've got to go for this one. He spoke to Kindergartner. Kindergartner said, yes, Alfie Cox won the day. Simple as that. Simple indeed. You have to be very good to ride this fast on the Dakar. Alfie, frustrated at team orders in KTM. Complex machine last year that let BMW sweep the podium. Heinz Kindergartner wants 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 KTMs going into Dakar side by side. Mioni will be on top. Cox out to prove a point. He did it today in style. Giovanni Sala, second on the stage, 19th overall. Another one of those let off the leash. And a man who is uncontainable is Peggy Lundmark, of course. The Viking, as he likes to call himself these days, and who would argue with that, was shadowing Mioni today. Not that he meant to shadow him, it's just that he only had 5th gear. He was having to change by hand, as you can see. Lundmark still managed third place today ahead of Duclos, just behind Sala and Cox. He's incredible. Fell off his bike a couple of days ago. Damaged one of his eyes so badly he reckons he's only got 60% vision. Broken nose as well. His website back in Sweden is getting 32,000 hits every day. They love him back home, and you can see why. What a competitor. Carries his tools on his back. No team to back him up. Didn't even bring a tent. Sleeps under a truck when he can. The tent would have taken up too much space that he needs for tools. So Lundmark up there once again. 40 years of age, only started riding a bike at the age of 29. Says he likes the Dakar because he rides a bike for a living, looking for trees in Sweden. And the only thing that's different here, there's no snow. Fabrizio Meoni then, taking great care once again. His teammates were more or less around him. Lundmark arriving, and pleased with his day's efforts, as well he might be, up against the odds once again and winning. Not the stage, but against those odds. Meoni, good enough for 7th on the day, maintains his overall lead ahead of Arcarons, who was 5th. Digavado 3rd overall, coming home today in 8th. Well, some of the backmarkers, let's not forget them. Their aim, of course, simply to get to Dakar. This is Jacek Szafkor of Poland on a private Honda. He says, once more I've got engine difficulty. It's the fuel line, just keeps cutting out. Seem to get there every single day, but I know what to do about it. Same old problem, it's just a case of getting on with it. 21st on today's stage, perhaps he would have done better with a different fuel system. 26th overall. A brave man, as they all are in this Dakar. And nice to have a look further down the line, away from the stars. Jordi Arcarons, well up there, with the best of them. Said he liked today, enjoyed it. Alfie Cox said the same, but like Botswana, apparently. Bernardo Villar, 6th on the stage, 10th overall, the Portuguese. He finishing ahead of Carlos Digavado of Chile. Digavado in 3rd place overall, ahead of Esteve Puyol. Cox in 5th place. Jimmy Lewis, the highest placed BMW, still with a damaged wrist, which is holding him back. He leads John Deacon in the standings, not by much, but it's looking like KTM's party this year, is it not? And so to the results of the day. A happy Alfie Cox, finally allowed to do what he does best, gun for the horizon in the desert. 2 hours, 30 minutes, 28 seconds, finishing ahead of Sala by just 2 minutes and 23. Then came Penny Lundmark and, of course, Duclos, who met his mum. Meoni leads ahead of Arcarons by 21 minutes and 15 seconds. It's KTM's all the way. Let's speak to Alfie.